Hi, and welcome to our Tower Garden Zoom event. This is our fun little Tower Garden party here in September of 2022. My name is Julie Powers, and I am here today presenting with Cindy Sebastian and with Heather Jordan, and they will introduce themselves when they get to their parts. And, a lot of people have been doing traditional gardening for many, many years. And in the last few years, a lot of people picked it up during the pandemic because they're like, what else am I going to do? Right. And also the whole thing about food security and food safety and having access to, different things is really important. And a lot of people are finding that to be something that they want is to be able to grow things in their own homes and to have that available. So as traditional gardens are coming to an end of their season, it's the beginning of ours. Actually, tower gardens have no beginning and no end because, as you can see, mine is here in my office. It's literally 6 feet from my desk. I've turned off the lights so that you can see it with the little seedlings. And you will see as the other presenters talk that theirs are in different places as well. But we can grow outdoors and indoors year round. And so before we get started, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just show you two quick videos that will help you understand what Tower Garden is.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
If nothing else, it's super happy music, right? I mean, so why not get super excited about it because it's happy music? And you saw in that video, those teeny tiny little seedlings. Well, that's where mine is right now. I literally just planted the seedlings a week ago. Last Thursday, I planted those. And I anticipate that probably by the end of next week, I will be able to harvest some of the lettuce because some of them on the back that you can't see right now are growing very quickly. And I'm sure I'll be able to have a salad next weekend. So it really does grow that fast. And this is Tower Garden by Juice Plus. And the Juice Plus company is who we are all partnered with. And what Juice Plus is all about is about real food that is totally pure. And that is what's so great about the Tower Garden is that you can grow your own food that is pesticide-free, herbicide-free, drought-free. Hello, anybody hear about the water issues in this world and especially in our country out west? Flood-free, not that Missouri has ever had any floods, haha. But there's been a lot of flooding across the country and that wipes out all of the farmland, right? And all the gardens. and it's waste free. I don't know about you, but before I got a tower garden, I used to buy like bags of lettuce and different things in the produce section. And then it would sit in my produce drawer and I'd eat a little bit of it, but the rest of the bag would turn brown and mushy and nasty and I would waste it. So it's very wasteful to do that. Whereas I can just harvest what I need off of my tower garden and it's all super fresh. So, you know, everybody's heard about all of the water restrictions because of the Colorado River and Hoover Dam and, you know, Lake Mead and all of these extreme water issues. So there are a lot of people out in those areas that are now like going, okay, I need a tower garden. But it's not just people that are in those areas that are extremely restricted. It's everybody. Because when was the last time you heard about a recall on organic kale or organic spinach or organic romaine in the grocery stores? Oh gosh, it happens, right? It happens frequently. I have never had a recall on anything I've picked off my tower garden, guys. So I don't know about you, but I love that. So next, I'm going to turn it over to Cindy Sebastian. So Cindy, you're going to have to unmute yourself and take it away.
Okay, so sorry about that. So this is my tower garden. Whoop, I'm going to show you. Whoop, just another thing. I am in my basement. I'm in a storage room. I call this Molly's room. It's my little dog room when I go somewhere. And I have two towers. I have one outdoors and I have one that is in a storage area of my basement. And mine is about, I think about 3 weeks and I haven't harvested it yet, but I'm going to take and pick a couple of these. It's ready for tonight. Look at this. It is so delicious. It's so tender. It tastes so yummy. And I love that I get to grow, you know, year round. As Julie said, I was just out in California, Northern California last week, and it's beautiful, but it is dry. And we were driving and we pulled over side road and Matt's like, I can see why they have so many forest fires. It's like a tinder box. And, you know, that's where a lot of our produce comes from. It comes from, the West. And if they don't have any water, we got a real problem. So I love that I get to grow year round and constantly can circulate new plants. And I think it's just wonderful.
So you're going to talk about the home versus the flex and that you have both of those and tell us about that.
Well, like I said, this is the home version. The home version is a little bit smaller. You can't see the base of it, but the base is just a little bit smaller. It holds 12 gallons versus 20 gallons. And it has like these little microgreens at the top that you can do, which are like the superfoods. I prefer to have the full plants, so I replaced mine with full plants. So I can still get the same amount of plants in my home version than I can in my outdoor version. And the Flex is designed a little bit more for outdoor use, but you can use it indoor use. It's a little bit heavier duty. So the home, you can use it outside, but it's a little bit lighter. And if you get some big storms that we can have in Missouri, you know, it could potentially blow it over. So, you know, it's really more designed for the indoor grower or the apartment grower or whatever. So I think they're both awesome. My original tower, my Flex, I've had for 10 years. This one, I think I've had, gosh, it's probably been about 4 years now. And, you know, they last forever. I mean, they're really awesome. And I just think that, you know, either one, you got to find what works best for you size wise. But, you know, if you're going to do strictly growing indoors, I would probably suggest the home because it does come with the lights, not separate. I enjoy growing indoor more than I enjoy growing outdoor because, like I said, I have a tower garden outside and I have one tomato plant and I had a huge bowl of these little tiny, I call them Candyland tomatoes. They are so tasty and they're just really going to town right now. But you are really limited, especially with lettuce and herbs, especially lettuces, and the heat does not like heat. So given a choice, I'm going to take indoor anytime. But, you know, again, find out what works for you. I'm going to turn it over to
Well, and actually, you know, what you were just saying about you prefer indoors, I prefer indoor as well, because I'm not a mud girl. I'm not a dirt girl, and I don't like to have to go outside and deal with the whether it's raining, whether it's 105 degrees and really humid, and I don't like bugs flying around my head. And so that's why I also have chosen to go with indoor growing year round, just because it's more climate controlled, and I don't have to change my shoes even to go out and do my gardening. And a lot of people have both. A lot of people do have both. One thing that you mentioned, the home versus the flex, is that the home model only takes 4 square feet in space in the footprint of your room, and the flex takes 5 square feet. So it is a little bit larger basin, and that one is really more suitable for the vining plants, the cucumbers, the tomatoes, zucchini, squash. You can grow watermelons even if you want, but I don't know, that would be a little cuckoo crazy. So now it's Heather's turn.
Okay, sorry, I stopped my video for a minute because I wanted to grab something. So my name is Heather Jordan, and I have been a tower garden farmer for about 5 years, I believe. I have grown outdoors, I've grown indoors, and I am currently without my own house, living with a family member right now. So I moved my tower garden, and I have the flex version, which I'll show you in just a minute. I moved it to my martial arts school. And give me just a minute. I'm going to try to do this. As you can see, mine is empty right now. Wow, I just went dark.
You got really, really dark. I don't know what happened.
Sorry. That's what happened there. Mine is freshly cleaned, and so that's why you see it's empty. I'm getting ready to plant. My seedlings should be ready next week to put in, and I cannot wait to grow. And I'll talk in a minute about what I'm going to grow, but I wanted to show you that I have the flex version, so you can kind of see the bigger base there. And this is the one that Cindy was talking about that can grow indoors or outdoors. I've had success in both places, but I really enjoy growing spaghetti squash and, oh gosh, what else have I grown before? Cucumbers, and they tend to grow best outdoors. And so I do like having it out there for that. But since I'm at the karate school and I'm not here full time, I keep it indoors. So something I wanted to touch on just real quick, I'm not going to have time to do a demonstration, but the nice thing about the tower garden, whichever version you get, this is your bread and butter. Okay. You don't have to deal with pesticides or, any sort of chemicals, fertilizer, that sort of thing. So we have our mineral blend A and our mineral blend B. And basically every time you add more water, start your basin anew, it gives you great instructions on how much of this to put in. And then you have a test kit that helps you measure the pH balance of the water. And so as long as you pay attention to your garden like you would your outdoor garden, it's very easy. I'm a horrible dirt gardener, but tower gardening I can do. Okay, so we talked about the fact that you can grow in so many places. Again, I'm growing at my karate school. I have actually seen people, my husband and I are very big into camping, and I have actually seen people with their home version transported in their RV. And then once they set up and stay somewhere for a while, they have it outside. And I think that's awesome. Some other very cool places where you may be unaware of, if you've ever been through O'Hare Airport in Chicago, they actually have a tower garden farm that supplies many of its restaurants there in the airport. The San Francisco Giants have a bar featuring tower gardens in their stadium outfield. So that's super cool. Go Giants. And many cities have tower gardens growing on their rooftops. You have, I forget what it's called, where you have a hard time getting veggies in urban areas. Somebody help me. There's a term for it.
The food deserts.
There we go. Food deserts. Yeah. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people living in urban areas have had great success with tower gardens. So like I said, I've grown squash and cucumbers in the past. What I plan on planting next, because it's winter time, I'm going to plant some more lettuces. I've got chives that I've actually saved. I apologize. I'm going to get up because I want to show you this. So this is my chives. These are my chives. And you can see there's some dead. I apologize. I didn't get, but there's plenty of good left in here. So what I did was I took the roots, I took the whole plant out of my tower garden and I have it soaking in water. And once I get my tower garden up and going again, I can put this back in the tower garden and it will start growing again. And that's what I love. So that's something pretty cool about the tower garden. And again, there is a lot of live here, but the light is not. It's showing more of the dead, unfortunately. Okay, so where did tower garden begin? Hopefully you all have heard of Epcot Center. I was there many years ago as a child, and this was pre-tower garden. But Tim Blank was, he worked there at Epcot Center, and he created this aeroponic gardening sort of display that people could check out. And he had great success with it. And so when the Juice Plus company decided to get in with tower gardens, got Tim Blank on board. And so now we're selling it so many more people can experience what aeroponic gardening is like. And you don't just have to take a trip to Epcot Center to see what it's all about. There's been some research done at the University of Mississippi that found produce growing in a tower garden used 98%. Let me repeat that, 98% less water than similar traditionally grown produce in 90% less space than traditional gardening, but with 30% higher yield. So those are pretty strong numbers. I'm not a numbers person, but I can tell those are pretty strong numbers. And NASA research even suggests aeroponic growing takes about half the time of traditional growing. So those of you that get frustrated with your dirt gardens, tower gardening is the way to go. Some advantages of the tower garden, and you've heard a lot, but I'm going to go through a short list. Less work than traditional gardening, more nutrient-rich produce than what you can buy, and Julie mentioned the food shortages and the droughts, fewer pests and diseases than traditional gardening. And if you do decide to use your tower outside, there's a very easy spray that Julie turned me on to get rid of pests, and it's organic and it doesn't hurt your plants at all, and it keeps them delicious. And that's really the only thing I've ever had to use to keep control of the pests. There are no weeds or dirt. I mean, again, I don't mind weeding this. This is easy peasy. I keep a pair of scissors on my tower garden. Very easy to weed. It pays for itself in 1 to 2 years of use, depending on the produce grown. Produce grows despite temperatures or amount of rainfall. So the air conditioning has not been working great here at the karate school, but my plants were still growing. I gave it plenty of sunlight. I do have grow lights like you see on everyone else's towers here. They just haven't been put back on yet. But what's nice is it can get some fresh, natural sunlight during the day, and then it can get the LED lights in the evening. And so there's lots of opportunities for growth. 2 more things, sorry. You know where your produce is coming from. Super, super important, especially with the recalls that Julie mentioned. You don't have to deal with those. And it's much more convenient for people who can't bend over to work on the ground. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting to the age where I don't want to have to bend more. And it's super, super easy. Okay, so I think I'm going to turn it back over to Julie. Turning it over to Cindy.
Yeah. So one thing I forgot to show you, I know Heather showed you a little bit about her. She showed the nutrients a little bit, but also about how the plants look in the tower garden. So I'm going to take out just this basil because it's still pretty small. And again, this came right out of my tower. You can see these are still wet, and you just pop it in. I love these little clips. It comes with little net pots, but I really do love the clips because you can take them out really super easy. I want to talk about that. So as Julie said, the Tower Garden is by Juice Plus. We are all part of a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And the 3 of us and our families take Juice Plus to bridge the gap each and every day to flood our bodies with as many fruits and vegetables as possible. We love to eat and encourage people to eat as many fruits and vegetables as well as taking Juice Plus. And we know that Juice Plus is very pure, it's very safe. There's nothing like it in the entire country that is more researched, NSF, peer-reviewed medical journals, certified. There's no comparison to any other product. And that's what we are a part of, as well as the Tower Garden. So I'm gonna throw it back over to Julie to wrap it back up. Julie's gonna.
Okay. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, I see your pictures of your Tower Garden on social media and it looks like it would be so easy, but I've heard that it's not as easy as it looks. And I'm like, well, that depends on what you mean by not as easy as it looks. Because literally this is how I do this. Okay. I tear my Tower Garden apart twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. And we use citric acid, which is a food grade citric acid. It's totally safe for the ultraviolet protected food grade plastic of the Tower Garden. This is not made with recycled plastic. And there are some other growing systems out on the market today that use recycled plastic, which sounds great for the environment, right? We all want to use recycled materials, but not when it comes to your food, because there can be things in recycled plastic that leach into the roots of your food. And you don't want your plants soaking up any kind of extra chemicals that could be from recycled materials. So we soak our Tower Gardens. You just basically take it apart. It takes about 10 minutes to take it apart, to fill up the little basin. And if you have like a baby pool, little baby swimming pool, we use that too, and fill it up with water, put the citric acid in it, and throw the things in there to soak. Okay, you do other things for an hour or two, and then you go back and you spend another maybe 15 minutes wiping it down, rinsing it off, getting all the citric acid off, and putting it back together. Okay, so now maybe we have 30 minutes of actual labor involved. Is this accurate for you, Cindy, and you, Heather? Does that sound about right? Okay.
Yeah, and I was just going to add real quick, Julie, that, I just got done cleaning mine. All of these pieces came apart and I was able to fit all of them in the basin that sits under here, filled with citric acid.
Right.
And then the cover here, sorry, I'm pointing, the cover here, what I did, I have a dolly that it sits on. And so I poured some of the citric acid water solution in the dolly and was able to soak that. So I didn't need anything else other than the Tower Garden itself and the citric acid.
Perfect. And some people use their bathtubs. It just depends on what's more comfortable for you. But they always say that it's a good idea to give your Tower Garden a good scrub once or twice a year, for sure. So that's the main bulk of the labor. All right. I fill up the basin with water. That takes, I don't know, however long it takes for my hose to fill it up. I do use in my home, I'm on city water in the city of Farmington, which has who knows what in our water. So I use an RV filter through a system in our basement that I just have a hose that I just bring up this little hose and I fill it up here in my office. Now, whenever it's outside, I've used an RV filter to get the chlorine and the other things out of the water, because you don't want chlorine in your water for your plants. All right. Then, as Heather was showing, the nutrients get added. You clean the pump so the pump can work properly. I always like to have an extra pump on hand just in case. What if we have a lightning storm and everything gets, messed up, right? Or whatever. So I always like to have the extra pump on hand. You fill up the nutrients, you get that going, you plant your seedlings, boom, 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 that you can either grow yourself or you can order from seedling companies. Or if you happen to be in our local area, we have somebody here who does a lot of seedlings for us. That's the way to go for me, because I'm not a gardener, but I grow my own food and have been for 8.5 years. And then really it's a matter of just going and looking at it. you know, if you have it really close to you like this, I can look at it every day. And this morning I was talking to it and I was telling those little plants, you're looking beautiful and I can't wait to eat you. And so I'm sure they appreciated that. But really, it only takes a few minutes, like maybe once a week. Stop me if this is not your particular scenario at your home, Cindy or Heather, but literally I might harvest or fill up more water or, you know, check the pH. That is something that we forgot to mention earlier, but you do need to check the pH of your water, because depending on where you live, your water can be just vastly different from somebody else. So there is a solution that the Juice Plus company, Tower Garden company, sends us that is a pH lowering. There's Cindy showing it, or raising. And so for me, my water, I always have to lower the pH to keep it within a range that is safe for the plants. It also depends on what plants you're growing. If you grow a tower full of strawberries, that's going to have a different pH level than if you have a full tower of greens. It does affect the pH. So you just want to make sure it's within that safe range for the plants. And I might do that once a week. So all up, all in, I spend about 5 to 10 minutes a week gardening. And about, I mean, maximum time, an hour twice a year, cleaning it up and putting it back together. So for me, that's a win-win situation. No dirt, no bugs, no weeds, no heat, no nastiness outside, and just fresh plants. Now, I'm not saying that it's perfect all the time. It's gardening, so you will have to figure out what works best for you in your home, in your outdoor area. You might live in Arizona or Florida or Michigan or Canada, and you know, things are going to be different. So it's gardening, they're plants, they're living things. You're going to have to figure out what works. So I am going to give Heather and Cindy a chance to say one last thing, but I am going to show our 4-minute video, 4-minute, 45-second video about all of our other products, just so people that might be watching this, because there were a lot of people that wanted to be on right now, but they couldn't be here, and they asked me to record this. So we're going to have this available for a replay. And so Heather, do you have any last words you want to say? Cindy, do you have any last words that you've thought of? Yes.
One thing I want to show, since I'm going to be finishing, so you can see my tower. See if you can see the base of it. Maybe not. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it's a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller. I want to give a little bit better view of my tower because I didn't want to be moving around during the middle of the presentation. I have something live. So that's all I wanted to share.
All right, well, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to show this one quick video, and then we'll wrap up.
When it comes to our health, diet is at the center of everything. And fruits and vegetables need to be at the center of our diets. I'm here today to tell you more about Juice Plus, whole food-based fruit and vegetable capsules that have given thousands of people a jumpstart to better diets and better health. We all know we need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, half our plate at every meal, and we need to eat a wide variety too. But for most of us, even on our very best days, it's hard to do that. And that's where Juice Plus comes in. Juice Plus is whole food nutrition from 20 fruits and vegetables, 30 if you count the berry blend, that bridges the gap between what we should eat and what we actually do eat every day. I say whole food because it is food, concentrated to deliver a powerful nutritional punch in a few small capsules. We harvest the produce at just the right time to ensure the nutrition is at its peak. Freeze the produce to lock in that nutrition and then, well, sort of pulverize everything, peels and all, into a pulp to unlock that nutrition and concentrate it. The peel is really important because let's take an orange, for example. There's more vitamin C gram for gram in the peel than in the fruit itself. And if you're like me, you don't usually eat the peel. We dry that pulverized pulp, peels and all, at carefully controlled temperatures to protect the nutrients from damage. Then blend it into Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and berry powders. Delivered to you in plant-based capsules or chewables. And we do all of this at state-of-the-art freezing, drying, blending, and manufacturing facilities. Juice Plus checks all the boxes. It's 100% plant-based and 100% vegan, even the capsules themselves. It's made entirely from non-GMO ingredients, it's gluten-free, and it's third-party NSF certified, independently confirming that what's on the label is really in the product. Juice Plus is supported by over 20 years of independent clinical research conducted at prestigious hospitals and universities around the world, showing the benefits of Juice Plus on heart health, lung health, obesity, the immune system, even our DNA. There have been more than 35 studies and counting on Juice Plus, published in leading medical and scientific journals, making it easily the most researched branded nutritional product ever. And get this, if you're a parent or a grandparent or even an aunt or uncle, you can get Juice Plus free for a child by enrolling in our special program for families. This is our way to get Juice Plus into the hands of more families and encourage healthier eating habits for the next generation. Juice Plus also offers other whole food-based products that help you jumpstart and maintain a healthier lifestyle. Juice Plus complete shake mixes make it easy to replace unhealthy calories with the healthy shake or a smoothie. Mix with other helpful ingredients to start your day, or enjoy at lunch, or as an afternoon pick-me-up. Complete is rich in plant-based sources of protein and fiber and contains an entire range of whole food-based ingredients, different from those in Juice Plus capsules or chewables. And Juice Plus complete bars are another tasty way to replace unhealthy calories with healthier ones. Juice Plus Omega Blend offers a unique whole food blend of 5 different omega fatty acids, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. What also makes Juice Plus Omega Blend so unique is it's a 100% plant-based omega product. We bypass the middle fish and go straight to the fish's source, the algae. And last but not least, there's Tower Garden by Juice Plus, a vertical aeroponic home growing system that lets you grow your own fresh fruits and vegetables year-round, indoors or out. We're proud that our Juice Plus products have been that one simple change that's helped jumpstart thousands of people to better diets and better health. We bet they can do the same for you.
All right, so just to wrap up, letting you know that you can get the Tower Garden Flex or the Tower Garden Home. Either one of them, as you may be aware, there are supply chain issues everywhere. And so there are times where the lead time on a Tower Garden and the lights can be up to 6 to 8 weeks. So the sooner that you order, the better, because you want to be able to get as much growing done in the fall and winter seasons as possible. And they're hoping that the new supply will be available very quickly. You can also pay for your Tower Garden all at once, or you can spread out the payments over 12 months and make just a budget payment every month. And there's no additional cost for that, which is pretty unheard of these days. So I don't know about you, but that's like a no-brainer. And also, I think that if somebody has sent you this recording and it's not one of us that's on the screen right now, please talk to that person to get you more information, because they will be able to get you everything that you need. And I think that that is really everything we wanted to cover right now, but there's all kinds of stuff you can grow and just get growing as quickly as possible. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you to our guests who are joining us today, and for those of you watching in a replay.